Next is from The Telegraph, and a recent report has revealed some disturbing terminology from police in Scotland. Steve.
Do you want the fun bit or the bit where I ruin the story?
Let's do the fun bit.
The fun bit is Scottish police call paedophiles minor attracted people in major report, which is a ridiculous phrase, because we all know what paedophiles means.
Yes.
There's no reason to try and rebrand them as maps.
It's not it's euphemistic, actually.
Yeah.
It's kind of making them out to be better than they are.
And then you think, well, what's the reason? Is there any good reason for it? And I've really tried to search. The word paedophile technically means something. It's not all minors. It has to be before puberty. There is no way to argue that case without really coming across like a strong paedophile. So, this euphemism, maybe it's to try and help people get therapy. No, I don't even think that's it. Because if you are a paedophile and there's a way to get therapy to stop being it, part of the motivating force is that if you seek this therapy, you won't be a paedophile anymore. That's a strong motivating factor.
Yes.
So it's terrible to use this phrase. Now, to ruin the story, the truth is the Scottish police didn't use this phrase. They were effectively quoting from this European document, the European force, this task force that they worked with. Their commissioning report used that phrase, and that's why they used it.
It's a quote.
The Scottish police actually tried to get them to not use that phrase, wanted the phrase paedophiles instead.
But wait a minute, Steve. The headline says Scottish police call paedophiles minor attracted people in major report.
It's almost like the Telegraph picked the headline to whip up anger so that then you read their newspaper.
Well, is that the case, Nick? I mean, I've always found that phrase, I don't like this idea of trying to euphemise crime, you know.
I think Steve
This is right at the end of it. The term was used in commissioning documents for the consortium that did the thing. In September, Police Scotland representatives successfully lobbied for the term to not be used by the consortium.
Okay.
They were against it.
Yeah, well, firstly, obviously, it's an appalling term, and if the police ever did deliberately use it, that would be the greatest possible betrayal, because you know, protecting children. It's a disgusting term people use to try and legitimise paedophilia on Twitter and things. So, absolutely disgusting. But yes, the key question. Well, it says Chief Constable Ian Livingston's annual assessment of the force's performance made reference to it working in a European project targeted at minor attracted people. So you're saying that does, and Police Scotland emphasise it opposed describing them that way.
Yeah.
But it did still happen. What do you think they made it clear enough that they were only quoting this thing?
Well, they made it clear enough for the Telegraph that already disagrees with them to actually include the bit that defends them.
Yeah.
So it doesn't feel like
There's some ambiguity going on here, anyway. Either way, I mean,
they included that phrase in there because that's
people are right to
the
be
bigger
concerned.
issue is that the Europeans are using that phrase, so you can hate Europeans and...
You're seeing the phrase crop up everywhere on social media as well. It's sort of some people even suggesting that the map should go into the acronym for LGBTQ, which is completely disordered and you know, really scary stuff.
Would you put it past Sturgeon? You've got this gender recognition, whatever it's called, where they're trying to lower the age to 16, where you can say you're a different gender. Would you put it past them to do this? This is the kind of thing that concerns me. Do you think that's alarmism, Steve? You're looking at me like you think that.
I do a little bit, especially as this story, when pulled apart, actually shows you that Police Scotland aren't interested in using that phrase.
It just goes to show that sometimes you have to look beyond the headlines and sort of really scrutinise it. But that's what we're here for.